Okay, this tutorial is going to be about the lead status and how to properly use these statuses to our advantage. If you look at this one, new lead, the leads are going to come through as one of two statuses, new lead or incomplete lead. If it's an incomplete lead, it just means that they finished the first form, the first page of the form. So we've captured their contact information, including their phone number and email, but they didn't leave any information about the home itself. The next lead status is going to be new lead, which is they've completed the entire form. We have enough information to give them a rough quote offer on their home, which we've already done so through email. So this status and this status are both going to be the only two that come through. So let's start with incomplete lead. The incomplete lead status is going to automatically send them an email within the first 20 minutes of their failure to complete the form. This email is going to be trying to convince them to finish filling out the form. There will be a link within the email, and it will say, basically, please finish the form. If they come back to the form, all the information they originally put in will still be there. If they finish the form, it goes to new lead. If they fail to finish the form after our 4 emails that go out within a week, it will then automatically change the status from incomplete lead to unable to reach. Unable to reach, lost contact, price too high, not interested, and cannot buy are all archived statuses. Meaning, if I click that right now, the lead will disappear from my dashboard. However, it will be in the archive statuses right here. And you can retrieve any lead at any time by clicking that and then doing a search. So let's just pretend that it's an incomplete lead. The email goes out for four times in a week. They never respond. It automatically switches to unable to reach and it archives the lead. But you have not given up on the lead because now unable to reach has an entire email campaign of its own trying to convince them to come back to us. If they do call, you can easily get the lead, change it to contacted, and the lead is right back in your dashboard at all times. So don't worry if you're not personally working it, the system's still working it. Okay, so think of it as like an assistant that you can send all these leads to your assistant and say, email all these people, and they just do it for you. That's what you have. So the biggest part of your job initially is going to be overcoming the psychological belief that if the lead disappears, it's no longer being worked. Or if you're not personally emailing, that it's not being worked. It is, and it's doing it a lot more efficiently than we can do on our own. Okay, going back to incomplete lead. So the incomplete lead comes in. We then send them an email asking them to complete it. If they don't, I obviously want to call them too, because if I can get the information over the phone and develop a relationship with this person, that's what I want to do. But I don't want to email anybody that's an incomplete lead or any other of these ones. If it's an emailed lead, what will happen, a new lead. So pretend that the incomplete lead became a completed lead. They went back to the form, completed it, and now it's a new lead. Immediately an offer will be sent to them, the range offer. And this range offer is going to be based on what we're pretty sure we can sell the home for. Minus $5,000 is what gives us our suggested purchase price, which you'll see within the lead. But then their range offer is going to be $2,000 below what we want it for. Well, we want it for as low as we can get it, but $2,000 less than what we would pay for it, and $1,000 higher. There's reasonings behind that. If you want to know, feel free to give me a call. But that's how it is. It's a $3,000 range gap, and it's based upon several conditions. Which, again, if you want to know, we'll go through that with you individually. So now they get that initial offer, and that's their first email. The second email does not go out again for 2 days. What that does is it gives us a gap that allows us to personally email the client or the seller and give them a call. It gives me 2 days to try to accomplish that. If I miss that in that window, I don't want to deal with it anyways, because I'm going to have a ton of leads possibly coming in that meantime. So you have a 2-day window. Remember that. Once a lead comes in, 2 days. Try to contact them the best you can. If they will not contact you back, set your follow-up date for a week out, and it will begin to email them for you after 2 days. If after the week is over, they still haven't contacted you, no worries. It's going to archive the lead by changing the status automatically to unable to reach. Unable to reach, again, has its own email campaign. So even though it's no longer on your dashboard, it's still being emailed. If whatever reason they call you, no worries. Go get your archived lead and put it to contacted. So contacted now is a status that stops all emails. Okay, so if I get a hold of Rose, I don't want an automatic email going out saying, hey, we haven't heard from you. Right? It's just going to confuse them. It's going to get them angry. Put it to contacted. This is really important. There's only a few that we have to manually change. But the moment she emails me back, or she calls me, or I call her and we connect, change it to contacted. Really important to stop all of those email campaigns. Let's say Rose says, yeah, I'm interested. And then I try to call her back on my follow-up date that I set. She doesn't answer. Try again the next day, doesn't answer. I'm going to know pretty quickly that she's just blowing me off. I'm going to then change this from contacted to lost contact. And what happens? A whole nother email campaign starts saying, Rose, it's Bryce. It uses our name. So it's going to use your name. It's Bryce. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still interested, blah, 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 blah. But once I switched it to that, it archives the lead. So now it's working for us again. Okay? This status, unable to reach, both of those will automatically finish their email campaign time and change it to not interested. Not interested then puts them on an email campaign for 2 years. It's going to be every 4 months for the first year, so 3 times the first year, and then once at the end of the second year. Because this campaign is really just to put a bug in their ear that, hey, if you're interested, we're the ones that want to buy your home. Don't go searching on the internet again, because that's how I've bought a lot of homes in the past. They've spoken to brokers, and then time went by, and they couldn't find them again, and so they searched, and they found my website. So we want to be the guys that stay in contact with them so they never have to search again. Okay, the next email campaign would be price too high. Rose, right here, let me just show you. I got into Rose's information before I started this. And Rose has a 2002 Clayton. And Rose thinks it's worth $80,000. I'm not going to pay $80,000 for this home. So what I want to do is change this to price too high. Now when I change that, I don't ever have to email her, but I'm not ignoring her, because this is going to send out an email as well within 1 hour of me switching it that says, Rose, we gave you an offer of this much. We know that you're considering $80,000 to be reasonable. It's going to be much nicer than this, but and it's just going to basically say we've went over the information, and right now we're just too far apart. If in the future you ever feel like reducing your price, we'd be more than happy to talk with you. All right, so that's going to automatically switch it, and watch Rose when I switch this. She's gone, right? Because it archived it. In a week, it's going to email her again, and it's going to say, Rose, we're just too far apart, but please just know that we are here if you need us in the future. If you have any questions, give us a call, right? So that's what it does. Lastly, cannot buy. What this is for homes that are in no-fly zones, or you got a duplicate lead, and so you don't want them to keep getting emails from 2 separate statuses or whatever. Switch one to cannot buy, and it will stop all email campaigns. In fact, I had one today where I got an email from the guy. I was supposed to buy his house, and of course, he went with another company that he was speaking to originally, and he's not going to own that home anymore. So it just doesn't make any sense to put him on any kind of campaign. So I'm going to switch him to cannot buy, and that will stop all email campaigns in the future. So that is the basics of these campaigns. Now, if you go to, which you're already going to know about this because you're here, but look on here in the resources section of Easy Homes Go, and you're going to be able to see every email that goes out. You're going to see the workflow of those emails. I encourage you to study those and to know them by heart of what's happening, because once you get them down, man, you'll really be able to utilize this system and blow through leads, but keep them being contacted. Basically, we just want our time better spent working leads that are in our wheelhouse. Okay, so I'm going to go through that here in the next tutorial right here on these flames, and that's going to really tell us which homes we want to spend the most time on. So look for that one now. But real quickly, draw your attention here to this one in Savannah. The red one means that I've never been into it before. Okay, so this one, while I've been doing this tutorial, actually popped up as a new lead. The moment that I go into her lead, it's going to turn it blue just like everybody else's. So that just gives you a heads up of the leads that you have not worked yet. So other than that, look forward to the next tutorial.